Hi there, lovely to be with you today. I'm Kira Woods, and this is the number 7 Major Arcana, the Chariot. I'm using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And what can we see in this card? Why don't you pause and just have a bit of a look to see maybe what intuitive responses you have. Have a look at the images and the colors and see how do they make you feel, what thoughts come to mind. For me, when I look at this card, I immediately think of the words victory. You know, this imagery is very much looking at somebody who has achieved something of recognition, some mastery over a situation, could be some inner capacity that they've achieved, and they're really standing strong and firm, and they're showing the sign that, or they're showing that they have strength of conviction and strength of celebration of what they've achieved. It's about the ability to control a situation from a place of mastery, or from a place of you being the hero. And it might even be a situation that might seem like it couldn't really come together, you know, two opposing forces. But through conviction and through your own abilities rising up, you definitely can be successful here. So it could even be that your triumph, it could indicate that you're going to triumph over a competitor or a rival of a situation, or it could be that within yourself you have finally triumphed over something that you've been really working on. And it's about this opportunity to claim your achievement and just sort of the popularity that will come from this achievement and acknowledgement, and to really, you know, stand strong and really be proud of what you have done. And that might also bring about perhaps somebody else who might not exactly they might be a bit disappointed in their own achievements, and so they might show some envy or objection, you know, but that's their stuff. And what this card is saying is that it's important that you celebrate and you honor what you have achieved, what high point you have gained, and what recognition you can stand firm having achieved it. And so as I look at this card, I think, okay, it can also indicate things like it's a travel situation coming up. It might mean that you are going on a trip, maybe a business trip, and if you do, you'll be able to really demonstrate some excellent leadership in that situation. It might also indicate that you are going to buy a new vehicle, or that you need to buy a new vehicle, so keep an eye out on that one. It also might indicate, though, that be aware that your ego might get quite inflated when this card shows up. It could be that, yes, it's important to recognize and stand firm in your convictions around what you've achieved and your mastery over a particular accomplishment or situation. But remember that it's also important to do that in a sense of compassion and humility, and not to let your ego, that, well, hey, I've won, I'm sort of the top dog here, and let that sort of run away from you, because that's not the essence of this card. You know, this card is sort of coming from a place of your higher self, recognizing that you've made some achievements in your path forward. It's about testing your limits, and so it's saying, okay, now you've achieved this, you know, acknowledging that. The travel aspect of it is saying, you know, celebrate and acknowledge it, but also know that you need to keep going. You need to keep testing your limits and expanding on your mastery. It also could be that you have the capacity in this particular card to, if you're coming from a place of being really strong around, from a positive place, that you can also help take the stress out of the situation for others, because you can really show really excellent leadership at this time. If you're in a relationship, this card might indicate that if there's some dysfunction in the relationship, whether it be a personal relationship or a business relationship, this card is saying that you have the ability to rise above that dysfunction. You also could have the ability to agree to disagree where you need to do that, and that's appropriate. You also, if you're working in a partnership situation, will find that you can really work together well as a team and complete tasks, as well as working separately where needed. So it's that combination, and I'm talking about that because these sphinxes here at the bottom of the card, that, you know, are indicating that duality and how the duality is coming together in balance. So whatever your situation, if you're looking at the situation, think about, okay, do I have balance? Is there balance? Does there need to be more balance? Because this card is indicating that balance is important in the situation, and you have the capacity to bring about that balance. Visually, what do I see in this card? Well, this person is very well dressed. They're wearing a crown and armor. They're standing inside imagery of a chariot. They have, as I said, two sphinxes in front of them. One is black and one is white. There's no reins. It's the first thing I always notice. There's no reins needed in terms of driving this chariot. They don't need any reins here to the sphinxes, and I think that's really important. That they're there and they're guiding the situation, and they don't need to be directed. The feeling of the card is bright and light. It's yellow, full of yellow. So indicates things like power and focus. The figurine looks really strong and in control, calm. There's lots of, when I look at this card in the face of the figure, I think, wow, there's definitely mental preparedness and action, really ready to engage, to take action from a place of mental preparedness. That strength and power, that ability to influence and therefore control a situation through recognizing what they've achieved and others recognizing what they've achieved. This card might also indicate in a situation that you need to regroup yourself, to reorganize your focus, to really be clear about where you want to go and what action therefore you might need to take, or what is your destination, may be the question you ask. It's also indicating within all of that, though, remember, self-control is really important, and self-discipline and self-confidence, and that you want to persevere towards your goal. And definitely it's about action, though. It's not about sitting back and thinking, woohoo, I've achieved what I've achieved and now I can sit back. No, it's saying, you really have achieved a lot. Yes, you may have had some great success over your competitors or a particular situation, but it's about saying, okay, I now need to go further. That there's more to learn, there's more to this mastery, and to be motivated in that, and to really show some mental toughness and strength, particularly if those around you maybe want to hold you back. It's about the ability to pull together things that might appear to be conflicting, particularly conflicting forces or other agendas. It's about to take on the individual strength and of balance, and to bring about balance, to sort of pull everything together, and to therefore create sort of the force that is powerful and strong, but with a sense of positive connectivity to the situation. Definitely indicates success, though. If you're asking a question that you want to know, will I be successful? Will the situation be successful? Is there opportunities for success? The answer is pretty strong, it will be, but the success will come from effort, not from just waiting to see what will happen. It's about success is about the ability to reconcile opposing forces. So acknowledge that if you want success, you must look to see, am I generating situation, or am I performing, acting in ways that I'm bringing about better harmony and balance of the situation? Am I pulling together different forces? Am I in the driving seat? Ask yourself. Am I in control? Am I being solid in how I'm approaching this change that I'm wanting to bring about? And am I being courageous? Am I showing positive self-assertiveness? Not being aggressive, but self-assertive. Aggression will actually probably undermine what you're trying to do. Am I showing strength of my personality and my charisma in the situation versus perhaps that sort of brute force? So in your leadership and bringing things together and showing leadership, people will respond positively if you show strength of personality and not just try and be a bull in a china shop type energy. Can I mediate these forces that are around me? Because you definitely have the capacity to do that. The Chariot is sitting on water, and that's indicating the importance of mastery over emotions and bringing emotions together with logic. That answers to situations and the true evolution of a positive situation isn't just all about logic, that we also have to bring emotion into the situation from a place of balance. In fact, this whole card is looking at duality, a bit like the Lover's card. This duality is a very important theme. Here it's black and white. But, you know, the other dualities are also really important, you know, whether that be yin yang, or you might be looking at sun and moon, or you know, logic and emotion, inner and outer, conscious and unconscious, various things like that, you know, earth and water. So it's definitely saying that in your situation, as you're moving forward, be aware of bringing harmony to balance, about acknowledging and respecting that there is always the importance of the two dualities in the situation. Stand up for your beliefs. Don't get held back by other people's opposing forces. Be aware that that's their stuff they're working on. Stay firm to what you believe is right for you. Don't just sit back because you've achieved a milestone. No, there's always more to do. If you're going on a journey, definitely go with the strength of knowing that leadership will be important, that you can be very charismatic and bring about a really strong, positive sense of leadership and show strength under pressure. So, you know, as I look at this card, I think, you know, it's a very, it's a card about action, you know, and for those of you who maybe are in areas of marketing or something like that, you know, it's definitely going to indicate you're going to have triumph over your competitors, but not in a negative way, but in a really positive way. You've done your homework, you've really set out on a really strong path, and you will succeed. And that's what this card is about. It's around that victory of success, because you've really approached something from a really solid place. And you acknowledge, though, that it's a step in the process and that you're going to go further. So I hope that was helpful. That was the Chariot card number 7. And I hope you look out for my next. I will be moving on to the next Major Arcana number 8 shortly. If you'd like to catch up with me, my name again is Kira Woods, and you can find me at kirawoods.com. You can also find me on my Facebook page, which is Kira Woods Gold Coast, or Twitter, which is Kira Woods Tarot. I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out to me on any of those mediums. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. If you have, thank you so much. I'm absolutely delighted that people are now subscribing, and I really look forward to catching up with you in my next video. Have a wonderful day.